Shebang.
Just kidding.
Hola, amigos.
Hola, neighbors.
We're back.
Oh, we're gonna get canceled one day.
Why?
That because people would say I'm racist for saying that. I'm chronically online, okay? So I know that I could get a lot of hate for just saying that. Because I'm white.
True, true. All right, so 10 parenting rules of the 1950s. What do you think they're gonna say?
I've heard a lot of bad things about the 1950s. And nobody wants to live like that. It's 2025. So we're gonna look at the rules and compare them to like.
So this is
You
so
know
this
what?
is
Call me Kim K, cause I'm gonna be saying like every other fucking word.
so 1950s was 75 years ago. So your grandma was probably raised like this. Let's go.
10 parenting rules of the 1950s. 1. The child should be outdoors. In those years, of course, there were no gadgets. The children spent all their free time in the yard. They learned relationships through play. The lack of social media was good for kids. They wrote.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
I feel like it should be that way, but you know what I've seen a lot of people say and why kids aren't just outside now, because back then parents wouldn't even like watch their kids. But nowadays, if you just let your kids play in the front yard, then you're a bad parent because you're not watching them. Somebody could steal them. But back then, nobody cared. Their kids could just walk down the street and play throughout the neighborhood. But now that'll make you look like a bad parent if you're not watching your kids. And people are busy, like they need to get dishes done, cleaning done, work from home, different things. So it's like they can't just go outside and watch their kids the whole time like back then.
That's definitely a new concept though, because when I was younger, me and all of my friends were playing outside and our parents didn't.
Well, me too. Like me and my cousins and friends, we were always outside, except we weren't necessarily going throughout like the neighborhood. We had my granddad's property. That's where I got like babysat most of the time. And so we were like in a safe area to be outside.
So nothing wrong with this so far.
Letters by hand. It exercised their brains and motor skills. Also, they often had sleepovers while camping. And of course, they had street dance parties. 2. Children need to know manners. Children were taught the rules of etiquette and behavior. They started learning them at a young age. The rules were simple. Pointing fingers is rude. When asking for something, say please. You should walk on the right side of the street. Don't swear. Don't put your elbows on the table. Cover your mouth when you sneeze. These and other manners were known to every kid in the 1950s. 3.
Okay.
Back to being chronically online. I saw a video where this southern lady was talking about still teaching, like, are people still teaching their kids manners? Like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. The comments were full of people saying that that's racist. That's racist now. That's racist.
But what were they?
Yes, ma'am, yes, sir comes back from, like, slave language.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So now I've seen a lot of people saying we shouldn't teach our kids to say yes ma'am and all that stuff. And that's a hard one because I grew up like that. And I still am like in a habit of telling people like yes,
That's
ma'am.
something that I'm not gonna agree with ever. That has nothing to do with slavery. It has everything to do with just being properly mannered. What?
The elbows on the table, that one I don't care about.
Yeah, that's not really a thing.
I remember like one of my friends that mom's like got onto me one time for having my elbows on the table and I'm like, what the fuck? Like what the fuck?
Okay, this is.
Oh, this is gonna be a big one.
Look at that picture right there.
Corporal punishment is bad. Dr. Benjamin Spock's Baby and Child Care was a bestseller. The advice was followed by most mothers in the 1950s. Spock advised hugging and kissing babies often. A child should always
Wait, is he saying they're against that?
Mm-hmm.
be encouraged to express themselves. You had to give them everything they needed. You must never use corporal punishment. There was also some contradictory advice in the book. Spock said it was okay to spoil kids, so some accused him of fostering a generation of rebels. 4. Trust your
I strongly feel as though that wasn't popular yet. I think people were still corporately punishing their kids a lot back then. I don't believe that a book was released so everybody in the 1950s just stopped, because it's still a thing now.
Yeah, when did they stop allowing teachers to beat your ass?
I don't know. I remember when I was in elementary, it was on like a paper. My mom approved of it, but it was, you had to do something really bad in order to get, well, but that never, like, you never heard of it happening though. I think it's still a big thing today though, where people do still argue on the gentle parenting versus whooping.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hard one because I got whooped growing up, but I love my mom. She's my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like me saying that's gonna hurt her.
How bad were the whippings?
They weren't even bad. I think my sister got it a little bit worse.
Mm-hmm.
But my sister was a terrible child. But see, me and my sister love our mom. Like, we're not traumatized by it. Like, we know now what we did deserved it. But there's a lot of people that would say, nothing deserves that. Oh my gosh. Like, but I still, like, even though I feel that way, I find it super, super hard to whoop my kid. I don't do it. Like, but I still been told by a few people that I should, because there are some things that she doesn't deserve it. But I just find it really hard. Probably mostly because of the gentle parenting trend and how people judge it. That's probably the only reason I don't want to get canceled.
I still believe in whipping your kids as the last resort.
But you don't do it. That's the thing.
I can't do it.
I know, but you say you believe in it, but you want me to do it, but I don't want to do it either.
Why?
Because I feel, that'll make me feel bad.
If the kid does not just straight up does not listen, no matter how many times you try to do the speaking method, gentle talking them through it method, and they're just acting like they lost their fucking mind.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and I'm not saying like a big whooping. I'm like a little smack in the hand or a smack in the ass. I think that's fine.
I mean, I personally do too. I just don't do.
Yeah, I don't think it's fucking your kids up.
But like at the same time, I don't do this stuff, and my kid doesn't listen to me, bro. We do timeouts, and that like really makes her cry. Just doing a timeout makes our kid cry.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. 'Cause the next day, she's laughing in my face, and there was one time I did like pop her on her butt, and she was telling your friend, she's like, my mommy whooped me, but it even hurt.
Oh, she said that?
She said that to David, yeah. And I was like, do you want it to hurt? No, I'm just kidding.
Alright. Number 4, trust your children. I don't think this is 1950s parenting rules.
Yeah, this doesn't sound right.
It sounds very liberal.
Your children. By assigning responsibilities, parents taught responsibility. They trusted in their child's ability to make good decisions. Too much tutelage raises insecure children. 5. Create tradition.
That doesn't make trust your children.
Like giving them
By giving them responsibilities. I was thinking it was gonna be something different. I feel like that number 4 should have been like giving your kids responsibilities. Should have been that. I do think that too. I make our 4-year-old vacuum and mop, and I have made her make her bed, but I have been working harder on giving her those responsibilities and like little chores.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Giving them responsibilities.
I trust her so much to make her bed. I didn't like how that was worded.
Create traditions.
One of the chief traditions was the family dinner. During the meal, the family socialized. The child would talk about his or her day. This allowed the parents to learn more about their experiences. The kids understood that they were important. 6. Children
We have said that we were gonna do that. Whenever we first moved in together, we were gonna make it a thing to say our blessing and eat at the table as a family. But we
you
have
just
gotten to the
completely
point where
ignored my.
I cook dinner, he comes home. Now I've been sitting at the table with you, but like you're still on your phone.
Okay, well, you eat at the couch. on
I
your
not
phone.
anymore. I used to when I was freshly postpartum and it hurt to sit in those chairs, so I was sitting on the couch. But you're just on your phone scrolling. Nothing like that. We should
I'm doing business, bro.
this house is gonna become a 1950s household.
Yeah, we're gonna force Paisley to sit down. You sit down, me sit down, and we're all just gonna talk.
We should. We should.
That's
We
what I
should.
just. That's what I just
We
said.
should do that.
That's what I just said, though.
I feel as though
Women.
we should do that.
Okay. So far, this hasn't been. I thought it was
This
gonna
has
be
been
like
good. This is motivating.
must do chores. In first grade, the girls were already setting the table. The boys were mowing the lawn. Boys were already taking out the garbage at an early age. 7. Don't
I feel like that's a good thing. However, we only have girls, but I feel as though I'm gonna keep saying that. I feel as though if we did have boys and girls, I would be mixing up the chores. I wouldn't be giving gender roles. I don't really care for that.
I'm gonna teach Paisley
They
how
can
to
take
mow the
turns.
lawn.
Exactly. That's like a good thing to like know though, because I don't know how to mow the lawn. I would know. You asked me to do that. I don't know how to do that. That's a boy job when it comes to me. But however, because like I have an aunt who she always like cuts her own grass and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Period. Because imagine one of our daughters ends up being a very independent. I would like that would be cool. Being independent.
No, she needs a
She
man.
would know
She needs
how-
a high value man to do that.
If she wanted that, then yeah. If that's what she wants, then yeah. Because when it comes to me, like that's what I make you take out the trash. And this is totally like off topic. This is just about like the kids.
It's about the kids.
Because when it comes to me though, that is a boy job. You go do it.
All right. Number 7. Don't devote your whole life to children.
devote your whole life to children. The most important thing was family. Children were merely part of it. Parents were supposed to make time for each other. It was not seen as indifference to children. It showed the equal importance of each family member. 8.
All right, this is good because we've talked about this.
So when we talked about this, it had to do with like listening to the church service. But we are Christian, and I do know, me being chronically online, I'm gonna keep bringing that up. I've seen a lot online too, where people say that no, like you should put your kids first. Like if a building was burning down, you wouldn't save your kids, yada yada yada. But I think this doesn't go towards like extremes like that. I feel like it is extremely important for the parents to all like have quality time and not make everything about the kids. And we learned in church that there's a thing called legitimate jealousy where say the mom or the dad, either one, is more focused on the kids or the new baby and putting all their energy towards that and kind of not towards their partner anymore. And so it creates legitimate jealousy because they're wanting and needing that attention.
Yeah. Being like as a family as a whole is way better. Just giving your attention to your wife or just to your kids. It's best if we do activities together.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with this. This is the perfect video.
Preschool was not that important. No one was forcing children to memorize cards 24 hours a day. A child just had to learn how to be in a group, 9. Be a parent, not a
I never heard of this.
But I have seen where a lot of people are trying to rush putting their kids in daycare and preschool. But I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. I feel like it is good for your kids to learn early as possible. I do know that like now even just trying to put your kids in pre-K is really difficult. Like you have to be low income, military, anything of like those sorts. You can't just throw your kids in pre-K.
That's why I kind of feel like we should homeschool our kids, because putting them into like conventional schooling, it's just a system, pre-made system where they're saying you have to learn this, you have to learn this, you have to learn this, and it's if they don't understand the concept of something, and that week period of where they're supposed to be taught that is over, the teacher has to, be busy with a bunch of other kids, and if your child is left behind, then they're kind of fucked. If they're homeschooled, you can take the one-on-one time to teach them the essentials of things that they need to be taught.
You understand, I was driving myself crazy just trying to teach Paisley shapes with flashcards. I don't have patience to do homeschool.
But I feel as
But
though
no, I feel as though I'm a lot like my dad.
you just
When
cut me off.
I know, but I feel as though I'm a lot like my dad. When I would have questions with homework, he would just whatever the question was, he would just keep repeating the same question in different tones, thinking that was gonna help me understand it instead of like breaking it down or anything, just repeating it over like but like that's what me. I don't have the patience. I'm like I don't know how to teach something I already know because it's just like it's that like just know it. I don't know how to break it down. I don't.
I think I don't have the patience, but I do have the skill of being able to break something down
Mm-hmm.
in simple terms. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you have this, and you have this. Two. Can you understand that?
I don't think we're gonna homeschool.
Number 9. I already agree with this.
friend. Friendship is based on mutual benefit. A parent has responsibilities. The parent sets boundaries. They must notice things in the child that the friend will not. In the 1950s, the parent was in charge. The child had to prove they could be responsible. Only then were they allowed freedom of choice. 10.
I do
If
agree
this
with
is
that.
how kids were raised in the 50s, every single kid born in the 50s should be like the most well-grounded.
But I feel like what's being left out a lot is the terrible fathers.
What do you mean?
The fathers that come home from work and don't they just want to sit down and have their wife hand them a beer or be abusive. I feel I've heard a lot about men being abusive was a bigger thing back then.
Yeah.
I I think they're leaving that out a lot, and that's probably why the kids from the 1950s are not decent, are
Yeah.
completely decent humans.
So Bill Burr said something about his father would come home and be like, "Shut those fucking kids up, and bring me a beer," and like shit like that. And I was just like, that's kind of the vision that I had for 1950s early parenting, where the dad would come home from work from the factory, or well, that's back then when you could be a mechanic and you can afford to provide for your wife and 13 kids. And the dad kind of would just come home, have a beer, watch TV.
The fact that there's still men like that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Mm.
Preach. I think this
I
is the
feel like
last one.
every man on earth should be like you. I feel every woman would be happy at this point.
No, I have anger issues.
They're not, Alan. I joke mostly about that,
No, I know I do.
but it's nowhere near as bad as so many women deal with. There's people with like bad anger issues. That's not you. You don't be throwing shit, hitting shit. Like you don't do all that French stuff. You just like let little things make you angry, so you take yourself out of the situation. Like you can be healthy about it. You need to work on the little things affecting you.
Yeah.
But you're not like a terrible person. There's so many men that aren't able to
Well, I don't think
control
it's I
those
don't think it's anger
emotions.
issues. I think it's having no patience for things, and having the low patience is what makes me angry.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I don't think I'm like raging all the time,
No.
but I definitely get triggered or annoyed like
Mm,
super quickly.
so do I. I don't have patience either. Anyways, this is so off topic. Rule number 10.
And yes, we're aware that this video is all over the place. And guess what? We're still gonna upload it, and you're gonna watch it. Number 10, last one.
Set a good example. Parents were taught to set an example by doing, not saying. The family had to be perfect. Every member of the family worked hard for that. The child would follow the example. This carried over into their own family. Do you think it worked?
It just seems like a video like Asian parents how to raise your children. It seems like very
They made it sound really good.
yeah.
That is not how the 1950s were. I don't believe it.
This is how the true 1950s were.
But with number 10, I will say, even I need to work on that a lot. I hear one of the biggest arguments with gentle parenting is a lot of people are talking about permissive parenting, and that gives gentle parenting a bad look.
Yeah.
Gentle parenting comes with, I think the issue is a lot of parents want to just sit on the couch and keep telling their kids, like, do this, do that, do this, do that, and their kids aren't doing it, so then they get in trouble and then they get whooped and blah blah blah. No, you need to get up off the couch, show them what you're telling them to do. But that's something I do need to work on myself. I'm not the best at that because, like, bro, I'm gonna sit down, like, just pick up your toys, bro. Pick them up.
Yeah. I feel like we're gonna be better parents because of this video.
Yeah, this.
We're gonna raise our kids as 1950s babies. They're gonna take over the world because nobody teaches their kids like this.
Like, based on just this video alone,
Yeah.
that sounded really good. They're lying. They need to say how the 1950s really were.
Yeah.
They're lying.